Hey, it's Tpok. Back in Katawa Shoujo, I think where I left off, I was talking to Lily on the phone. Don't blame yourself, Lily, with everything she's gone through. I know. Thank you, Sal. I'm sorry I can't be of more help to you. It's fine. I'll just give it some more thought. Thanks, and have a good time in Scotland. It's nothing. Thank you for taking care of Hanako. Okay, bye. Goodbye. And with that, the line goes silent. Amid the seemingly only increased number of questions I can't answer, the most immediate is what Lily was going to say. Oh no. I'm an idiot. She must have thought I was calling to talk with her, but I only asked for help with Hanako. Even more shameful than that, that thought is the fact that such an appraisal would be largely correct. Well, first things first. For now, I need to at least sort out Hanako and make sure that she's actually eating okay. Occasional passing students give badly hidden glances at the plate of food I carry to the female dormitories. It's hardly a meal to be proud of, only being an instant microwave meal from the convenience store, but it should at least fill her up. Eventually I arrive outside her room, after having to ward off a couple of girls who jokingly tried to pilfer the food I'd taken so long to procure. I decide to forego knocking, since it was proven to be an utterly useless measure, and it's somewhat difficult to do with my hands full. Hanako, it's Hisao. I know you're listening, and I got some food for you. Silence, as I expected. I'll leave it beside your door. Please eat it at least, okay? There, I've said my piece. Now it's up to her. Putting the plate down, I walk back to my own room to eat my dinner. Wow, you didn't even... By the time I returned to Hanako's dormitory, a good hour's passed. Thankfully, there isn't anything to be seen beside her door. I walk back at least somewhat happier that she's eating. If she intends to get through this by herself, then being able to help, even if it's just in a small way, is at least something. I am hearing a weird noise. Clicking noise. And my headphone. What's up? Guess it's nothing. No, there it is again. I don't know. I sit reading in the library after school, turning page after page, barely registering the words written on each out of sheer boredom. Okay, there's music. I was like, there is a huge absence right now. It won't be long before I need to get a razor. What? Oh, I completely skipped that. With my cheek resting in my hand, I can't help noticing the slightly rough feeling against my palm. It won't be long before I need to go get a razor. Giving up on reading, I simply let my head drop onto the book in front of me. Things have quieted down considerably since Hanako began attending school again. When she first returned to class, nothing was said nor done that wasn't part of the usual routine, and it's been the same way since. Neither of us desired to bring up her accident, so there simply wasn't any point in pursuing it. Thus, a few days went by and the daily grind continuing just as it had before. It's only natural that my mind would wander to other places, and more importantly, other people. The lily-shaped hole in the daily life of Hanako and I has been pretty noticeable for a while now. I'd be pleased to say that this has allowed me time to refine just what my thoughts on her exactly are, but alas, I've had no such luck. It doesn't help that many attempts to do so have led the troublesome topic of Hanako. Every time my thoughts drift into that direction, I reflexively try to think about something else. Why did this have to happen now?
I turn and look up to the source of the tentative voice coming from behind me.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to disturb anyone. That's not it. I glance around the orange-tinted room, quickly realizing how silly my apology must have sounded. In the time I spent thinking and lazing about in here, everyone's well and truly left. Library's closing? If you don't want to go, I could keep it open a bit longer. It's no trouble at all. Don't worry, I should get going anyway. Thanks. As I get up and begin to move off, I feel Yuko's eyes drilling into my back. Is there something wrong? You look depressed. Are you okay? Yuko nervously twists her fingers as she says this, unsure whether she's overstepping her boundaries or not. Can't really tell if she's more worried about my mood or about bothering me. Normally I'd just shrug it off and assure her that I'm fine, but my reflective mood gets the better of me. Despite being staff, she really doesn't feel much like an authority figure as the others. It's just, I guess the best term for it would be relationship problems. Oh, I'm not too good with that kind of thing. My only relationship ended a bit abruptly. But if you want to talk about it, I mean, I could listen, I think. Now I feel kind of bad for bringing it up. She's not that old though, so at least she has a good chance of finding another partner. It isn't like we're in a bad situation right now. We've spent many days together as friends, sometimes going out to do stuff, that kind of thing. But I'm starting to want to do more for her, learn more about her, and be with her more. I'm not sure whether it's actually love or not, though. Our friendship is, at least as it stands, is enjoyable. You shouldn't let that stop you. Sorry. How to say this? I think it's nice that you have a good friendship, but school is going to eventually end. Do you think you'll be fine with not knowing if it could have gone further after you graduated? I guess that's the crux of the problem. I really have no idea what the answer to that question is. Well, I can't really help there. What your true feelings are is something you have to decide for yourself. But I think that if you do love her, you should definitely say something. After thinking about it really hard, I decided that even though my relationship didn't work out, it's still better that way than never knowing if it might have or not. I never expected Yuko to sound so wise. It only makes sense that with more life experience than I, she'd have a better idea about this. Well, I suppose not very much was actually answered. Talking to her has helped get it off my chest, and I have no doubt that I should confess it if I really do like Lily. I give a slightly frustrated sigh. If only reading so much actually helped when it comes to situations like this. She gives a girlish giggle, which only reinforces my view of her as being different from the usual staff here. In the end, it all comes down to what will happen after school finishes once again. Considering what happened before I came to Yamaku, it feels like being asked to keep up with a field of runners despite having started from a dozen yards behind them. It's just one more motive to throw on from the past. The last thing I need right now is to get too caught up in that and getting homesick while I'm at it. Once again, I found myself calling Lily. My phone bill is going to be horrific considering this is international. But it's worth it. I don't only want to smother her over her feelings. Oh, smooth over her feelings from the last time I called. I genuinely want to talk to her again. When the phone finally picks up, I easily recognize the voice on the other end. Satao. Carrot, hello, Mrs. Satao? May I, speak, Carrot? Oh, that was in English. Damn, I've forgotten how the rest is supposed to go. It's not encouraging to forget such a small amount of words, even if I didn't spend that long trying to memorize them. May I speak with Lily, please? Hello again, Hisao. Are you teaching yourself English? Just a little. I don't think I'm too good at languages in general. Oh, don't say that. Your pronunciation was good. I'll get Lily for you. Just wait a moment. I obediently wait as she goes off in search of Lily, the other end going silent. Eventually, a much more awake-sounding Lily than last time answered, the time over there being past noon by now. Hisao, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. Hi. Good afternoon. Sorry for taking so long. I was outside in the garden. Gardening? Unfortunately, I found I'm no good at it, so I just smell the flowers. I think my fingers appreciate it more. I take it Hanako's recovered a bit? Yeah, I just made sure she was eating and eventually she righted herself. Thanks for the help the other day. I don't think I was really that much help. The main thing is that she's better though. True. How's life over there then? Sounds like you've been living in nothing short of a mansion. I wouldn't call it a mansion. But it is rather large is obviously what she wants to say, though modesty stops her. I'm a little envious, but it is her holiday. It is a nice house to stay in though. There's a beach near here too, which Akira is especially fond of. She's a swimmer? She's constantly dragging me there to have swimming competitions, which she wins every time. Lily doesn't strike me as very athletic at all, so not being adept at swimming seems logical enough. The fastest I've ever seen her move is her understandably relaxed pace during her walks to and from the suburbs down the hill from the school. It makes the image of her swimming hard to imagine. The beaches there must look nice. They'd be less crowded than the ones around here, at least. Indeed, Akira says the area around here looks beautiful because it's so far outside the city. Yeah, I caught on to that. I wasn't going to say anything because I figured Lily would catch that. I only realize what I've said after I say it, but it doesn't bother her at all. It's still easy to forget that she can't see when she's not around, despite the time we've been friends. That said, the local accent sometimes makes communication a bit hard. It's a constant reminder that this isn't home. While the fact that she doesn't consider her parents' residence to be her home makes good sense, it makes me realize that I can't really answer whether the same goes for me. Graduation from Yamaku is distant enough to be difficult to view objectively, and I've spent so much time in this small room I've come to accept the dormitory as my new home surprisingly quickly. I guess that would be hard to deal with. Is your knowledge of English holding up? Thankfully, I may be fluent, but being in a position where I have to use it often helps in curbing my Japanese accent, so it's been useful practice. I hear you're trying to teach yourself English? More like memorizing a few lines and failing at even that much. I'm not really cut out for learning another language. My admission of defeat draws an amused giggle. I believe that there are things one chooses to do in life, and also those things are chosen for one to do in life. What? You can take comfort in the fact that you're better than me in science and math, at least. All that's helped in is making me Mutao's star student. I wouldn't worry about it. They're useful skills for many jobs, right? That's what he tells me. His face veritably lit up when I said I'd probably go into a career involving either. We both share a warm laugh at the events that have befallen each other on opposite ends of the world. It's nice and reminds me of our simple small talk that I've been missing since she left. As each of us waits for the other to begin speaking, I decide to push ahead with my feelings. I can feel my throat tightening slightly. I miss you. The silence on the other end of the phone tells me she's given the words their due weight, but as it goes on, I can't help feeling more and more apprehensive. Thankfully, the silence ends almost as quickly as it had begun. I miss you too, Hisao. Goodbye. Goodbye, Lily. I thought he was gonna talk more about his feelings, but I guess that's it. Once again, the phone is hung up simply and without any further ado. That light tentative, almost shy voice, her warm and soft tone. I'd simply be lying to myself if I were to say that I don't recognize this feeling for what it is. With thoughts of Lily dancing on my mind, I start anticipating her return. Today has been a most excellent day. Come on, can we just like skip to her coming back? Like just fast forward. I sit listening to another of Mutao's long-winded lectures, my mind wandering far from the scribbles on the dirty blackboard. Since I called Lily, my mind's been drawn in two directions. What song is this afternoon? I recognize the song, I just can't remember the name. Both roughly lead to... My chair's squeaking so much. Stop. Both roughly lead to the same conclusion. I've started to feel oddly detached from my past life. It's only been a month and a half since I arrived here, yet this school's become a second home. I've gained new friends and contacts, managed to get to grips with the school's lifestyle and culture, and become accustomed to the quirks of my classmates. To become used to a school where disabilities are the norm rather than the rare exception still catches me off guard sometimes when I think on it. The same school that's populated by burn victims, amputees, the blind, the deaf, and all manner of disabilities in between. If someone had described the school to me before I'd come, I'd have shrugged it off as an overactive imagination. Even when I first arrived, I felt like the Dutch, coming to this strange new land for the first time. It's amazing how quickly one becomes used to the environment they're forced to live in, really. And now I've even found someone that's got me entirely smitten. What a strange life. Before my mind can wander any further, though, I find a page of lined paper slipped under my distracted face. The garish, bright pink ink has no doubt been penned by Misha. Don't look so bored, Hichan. School's nearly over. 3-day holiday. Oh right, we get Saturday and Monday off. I can't complain about having less school, I suppose. I uncap my pen and scribble on the page before covertly passing it back to her, flicking my eyes to the front of the class every now and then. Mutao continues scrawling away arcane equations and formulas on the board. I'm guessing you have something planned? Misha takes the paper back and hunches over it comically, even for her, with her tongue poking through the side of her mouth. Did she misinterpret my expression as depressed and trying to cheer me up? Student council work with Shichan, of course. You're not still brooding over that, surely. But Hichan could have helped us poor lonely girls. I'd lend you a hand for today if I weren't going to be busy. Oh, naughty Hichan. I'm just going to meet Lily with Hanako. I don't know what you've got going through your head. So, Lily's back? Yeah, she's coming on the evening flight with her sister, so she'll be back in school next week. As she takes the note back and begins to write, I look up to see an unwelcome sight. Boom. Knew it. I knew it. While I frantically try to silently catch Misha's attention, Mutao confidently strides through the gap between his desks from the front of the class and his intent gaze focused directly on her. She suddenly stops writing as his tall figure casts an impossibly long shadow over the page. He silently takes the piece of paper from her and begins to read. Sweating bullets, I quickly glance around the class, noting their complete silence. Of course, it would just have been the one thing that actually gets their attention during the lesson. After a few seconds of examining the page, he rolls the paper up into a small tube and lightly bops Misha over the head with it. Half an hour until you can hop off to the student council. I think you can hold on until then. Misha's face cracks as the entire class erupts into laughter. He might well be awkward, but he knows how to handle her excellently. I'd probably feel sorry for her if I wasn't busy stifling my own laughter. So I didn't get in trouble. Awesome. Hisao, is that one it? No, I think that's some foreign airline. And so the third aircraft they're not on comes into land. For the past half hour, we've been whiling away the time with small snippets of pointless chatter. Lily and Akira's flight has been delayed. At this rate, it'll probably be dark before their plane arrives. Is that one it? No, the company colors are wrong. Hanako's eyes flutter left and right, following the trickle of people in and out of the huge glass doors ahead of us. Fortunately, nobody pays her much heed, their attention apparently directed towards greater things. Maybe that one is it. No, I think that's... Hold on a minute. I think that might be it after all. It takes still some more time before the billboard changes their flight status to disembarking. A loud yawn sneaks up on me, not allowing enough time to stifle it. My sleep patterns have once again been all over the place, likely due to a mix of worrying about Hanako and the various side effects of my medications. Hisao, over there. I look to Hanako, then follow her gaze to the airport door. Oh, Lily, they're here. Really? Hello, friends. We all call out to each other in greeting, quickly shuffling over to the side to avoid blocking the passage of others. Lily! Hanako jumps forward to hug Lily, a wide smile on her face being all that she needed to see her happiness at Lily's return. Lily simply smiles in return, her voice soft. It's wonderful to meet you again, Hanako. As the two give each other a hug, well deserved after all that's happened while she was gone, I turn to Akira. Yo. You're pretty late. Yeah, there was a really bad storm over the airport. We got drenched just going from the car to the door. I guess you'll appreciate the weather here more then. Welcome back to you too, Lily. Hanako breaks off from Lily as I speak. For a long time, neither of us says a word. Contrary to what I thought her homecoming would be like, the atmosphere feels awkward, almost stifling. Both of us try to guess each other's feelings, not quite sure about what should be said. I am going to have to go, Lily, Hanako, Akira. See you tomorrow, possibly.